In this episode, our guest is Zaya Anu from the philosophical planet Dopple II, and he can't return home until he's finished his quest.
Not until he's found and murdered another Zaya Anu can he go back and die, and thereby achieve the sweet release.
So roll up your towel into a pillow, lean back, and
Prepare to learn about the honor of death, and the classic both or one dilemma.
Shut up and sit down.
Welcome once again to the Hitchhikers and Appetizers podcast, coming to you from Millyways, the restaurant at the end of the universe. Ding ding, we get an endorsement for that. And free meal. I am Horatio Zinn, here in booth 42, and as a co-host, I found one of the things that's most necessary, essential, you might say, to being a co-host, is having another co-host. Because if you're a co-host and there's not another co-host, then you're really lying. You're lying to the public by calling yourself a co-host, because you're just a host at that point. And I'm not going to lie at this point in time. I'm going to introduce my co-host, your co-host. Make him yours. You can rent him out. Trellis Gardeen. Trellis, say hello to the people.
Horatio, are you trying to scheme or side hustle by renting me out?
If it would be profitable, then yes.
Of course it's going to be profitable. Look at me. I'm gorgeous. This is high price, high-end goods, my friend.
Although, at a certain angle, it could be freak show time, which is good because that shows a certain versatility. That just ups your value.
It does. Well, absolutely, because it gives people more of what they want and don't want.
Yes.
I cover all bases.
That's wonderful. If only it'd be like one of those touch screen menus, and they could just touch you and kind of go, this, yes, oh, this, no, swipe, swipe, swipe.
That is how you select your procedures on Glandar.
Oh.
You know, you take a picture of you as you come in, and then you have the touch screen to then swap in, swap out, whatever you want to have done that day. I mean, it could be anything from taking off a small mole to new nose.
Adding a large one.
Well, I was going to say new head, but we haven't actually really solved that one yet because, essentially, when you chop off the head, replacing it with and it could go either way, a body, or you want a new head on the body. You have to find the other body or the head, and it's really, really hard to do because most people.
What about the connecting there? Are you into? One thing I've wondered about Glandar, and I probably should have asked in the many years we've known each other. Would they, in terms of, like, if you were reattaching the head, would they reattach all the things so the head would work with the body, or is it just an adornment at that point? Almost like putting a hat on the body.
It could be both. It depends on what you want.
Oh, okay, so you can connect it up. I see.
Some bodies are sick of their heads, and they just want the adornment. They ask for a better-looking head.
Yes.
And then the body just does its thing. The head's there for show, just so maybe it doesn't, freak people out when you go places and you're out and about.
That's a good quality.
But the body's driving the ship. But you know where this ship is headed?
Into guest land. We're
Yes.
heading docking at a guest port.
You read my mind, which is what a good host can do. So thank you.
It's also helpful to know what we've done in the past episodes, which is we talk and then we have a guest. So I was kind of expecting it, admittedly.
Well, let's say hello to today's guest. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm very, very grateful to be here. My name is Zaya Anu. I come from as you know, Trellis, a sister planet to Glandar called Dopple II.
Oh.
Where
Dopple II, yes.
Where nothing is as it seems. And I am on a mission, a quest, if you will.
Quest.
At the end of it, I get to die.
Oh, what an honor.
I would love if you two would help me, if you have any tips.
Help you through the quest or help you die?
Well, once I complete the quest, I return to my home planet. Everyone's, oh, thank you so much, Zaya Anu. You've earned your right to pass away. Not peacefully, it's quite violent, but I nonetheless am very grateful.
What kind of violence are we talking about here? Is this not
Cut to the
suitable
chase.
for young beings or suitable for all ages?
Well, I don't know. Do you mean to watch Trellis
Yes.
or to
I'm assuming
participate in?
I'm assuming it's a spectacle where people come out to watch.
You would think so.
You're not asking that children be torn asunder in a public place.
I mean, if the child completes its quest in time, the child is then allowed to die, for sure.
Oh, how lovely! So you can check out early if you want to.
Although, who's to say early? You know, everyone has their own time.
It sounds like you have quite a perspective on your planet.
Oh, absolutely. We're quite a philosophical people.
So when you're ready, essentially.
Yes.
So is this a philosophical quest that you're on? Is there some big answer that you're trying to find out?
More of a murder quest,
just
but
as exciting.
certainly every murder has philosophical elements to be or not to be. You know, that's a question.
To see someone being and then to end them being
yes,
that
exactly.
way.
But to answer your question about the violence,
Yes.
it's a spectacle of sorts, but it's an audio spectacle.
Oh.
Actually, the person dying is placed inside a box. They are then subjected to the torture, and part of the game is that all spectators guess the torture based on the type of screams and sounds they hear.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Very creative.
Do they have any gambling boards up with like the listing of the different types of tortures and sounds? So it's kind of a big.
kind of guess it? Maybe a kind of a bingo type situation?
You get to buy a box.
Yes, of course. Yes, that's exactly how it works.
Oh, nice.
Lovely. Lovely. What a...
Oh,
Oh, it pays back.
is there a torture that you're hoping for when you get back?
There's so many good options. I
Can you make it last? I mean, because I'm just wondering. The death is obviously the payoff. The death is the payoff. Up to that point, can you try different? Can you have a sampler platter, assumes, of torture, or do you have to just choose one type of torture that leads to the death?
a last meal of sort. That's what you're asking?
A last meal. Yes. If you could have different various tortures.
Well, it depends
that
on the
lead
person.
to the actual death. Is it a la carte? Is it?
No, you're welcome to do whatever you'd like, but people have different tastes. For me, I think a mental torture would be quite a way to go. Something that lasts for a few decades at least.
Oh.
Something
like regret over something that you said to someone in third grade.
Yes.
Or something like that they will probably have forgotten.
or a question without an answer.
Oh, a philosophical question like why?
Yes, like why not?
Why? Oh no, that's even worse, because once you figure out why, then they throw in why not, and it just totally throws, just scatters all the pieces onto the floor again.
Throws you mentally off balanced, and is that where the real torture part of it comes in, not the actual?
Oh yes, you're driven. Your mind is literally unraveling.
Oh my, like literally, like the rubber bands off of a ball or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's kind of a combination. It's sort of a wet rubber band scenario.
Does it leak out of your ears when that happens?
It's more of a gel. The goo is the rubber band. The rubber band is the goo. I mean, this is exactly the kind of question that could torture a person to death.
Yes, it's torturing me right now. It hurts to think.
Now, is this a population control method?
Oh no, it's a great honor.
Does everybody on Dopple II leave for a quest to eventually return? I mean, if you don't go on a quest, do you die at some point, or are you stuck living there forever unless you go on a quest?
No, you're stuck. You're stuck. I mean, there are certain lazy elements who, not for
Lazy? I don't know anything about being lazy.
Yes, what counts as lazy? I want to know, because I'm an expert in lazy.
Okay. Well, these would be the folks who choose not to leave the planet, who choose not to meet their sacred calling, and in fact, as a result, are never given the honor of death.
Oh, I'm going to write that. The honor of death.
That is a torture in and of itself, in a way.
Oh, absolutely.
But wouldn't that be the best torture? You want it to go a little longer. Like, that's a never-ending one.
Yes. Well, I still want it to end. There's quite. You would think it's a fine line between a long period of time and infinity, but in fact, it's quite a thick. Are you okay, Horatio? Is this affecting your stomach?
This is blowing my mind. I think I think the rubber bands in my head are starting to just go spring.
Okay.
The choices, the torture, the honor of death. I just want to go back to that. Honor of death. I think, I don't want to get ahead of us here, Trellis, but I think I found what our entry will be later.
Oh, don't say it. Don't say it.
Dopple.
No, don't.
Well, you could say it. You could say it right
Torture
now
me.
and end it if you'd like.
No.
I'll just say it. Use it in the conversation.
I want to be tortured.
And you'll have to figure it.
Okay.
One thing I actually want to get back to is you said that the whole thing is an audio.
An audio spectacle, yes.
Oh, this is.
I think that's wonderful to go back to the old days of audio.
This is killing me. Oh my
Because
God.
then it lets the listener imagine. Because I know what I can imagine is often much worse than what they're really showing. So if perhaps they were showing the torture, and it's not quite as graphic or as cruel as I would like.
Exactly.
I like the audio because then I can just amp it up a bit. I even add audio screams in my head.
Yeah, yes. Bonus content.
Good. Wonderful.
And actually, the ability to hear was the last sense that developed on Dopple II. So in a way, these are... I understand exactly what you mean by the old days, but these are the new days for us. Our filmed entertainments started as lookies and then became talkies afterward.
Now, I'm assuming that the torture in a box probably came about at around the same time that you developed hearing. Because up until that point, if no one could hear, you'd be at a loss. Who knows what's going on inside the box? You open it up and eventually, nope, still alive. Nope, still alive. Oh, there they are. They're dead. And everyone's screaming, what's in the box? What's in the box, you know?
They would. That was actually the motto for
What's in the box?
What's in the box. And again, you would think that would be the case, but in fact, these tortures have been going on forever. It's only when we developed hearing that what's now being called the golden age of death was ushered in.
You were missing some of the best part of it without the hearing.
Quite so.
Right now I'm just picturing the majesty of hearing. Something that sounds like random hammering of a nail or something, then little bits of scream with it. Because a hammering of a nail on its own is not that...
It's not fulfilling.
It's not that satisfying. You add screams.
It's really the silences between the screams.
Yes,
that
you're
listening
anticipating.
Yes, it's a jazz death.
Yes. Now, I have a problem. I feel like I'm being tortured when I get tickled. Any possibility that is one of the torturing methods? I'm ticklish all over it. Even though it sounds like I'm enjoying myself by laughing, it's horrible.
No, it's terrible. It's wonderful because if you know that he's in pain, it makes listening to his laughter so much more enjoyable.
Well, is it not possible that on Glandar you could have your tickle glands removed?
Oh, good call. Should have thought of that, Trellis.
I think that can be done. It's just something I've never had done.
Okay. Do you have a list of procedures you still sort of a wish list?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I've hit the bucket
Yes.
list.
Yes.
The face, everything on the face, the cheeks, the chin, the lips, the nose, the ears, the hairline. Not totally, where it started. It was.
We have to every so often we have to adjust a little bit. Just if he bends over too fast or something, sometimes it will slip forward. Yes.
I think the last couple of things I've got on the list are calves and longer fingers.
Okay. And calves, you mean cows? You mean baby cows attached?
Well, that's what they would put on. It's a graft of part of a cow onto your leg.
It's really not as disturbing as it sounds.
No, it's not. No, it's not. And it's really more.
Especially if you're wearing long pants.
It's usually the rump, and so that way you have a tail coming off, and it's really more fashion than functional.
It's almost like spurs
Yes.
on boots in a way. The tail is almost like the spurs on
swishes,
boots.
and there are pageants for people who have had that procedure done, and it's glory. You should see them walk the runway. They're out there strutting.
Actually, they call it a calf walk.
Yeah,
they call it a calf
I'm sorry,
walk.
yeah,
A
calf
calf
walk.
walk. Yes.
It's quite the honor if you were to win the best calf walk.
Oh wow! So that's like your being tortured to death is walking the calf walk.
Or watching them walk the calf walk.
Well, not getting to participate is kind of a torture. Yes, that's very, very true.
Have you ever had friends post lots of photos of that, Trellis? And I've seen you do this, so I'm asking you.
That's an immediate unfriend.
Yes.
That's an immediately. I'm blocking.
You know that if you were there, they wouldn't enjoy it because they wouldn't be able to torture you over it.
The worst part is that they tag their faces in it, and then they highlight the calf implants and they tag me on that.
Brutal.
So if you were to hover over them, you see my name, but I'm not there.
No calf implant, no trellis. Yes.
Nope. So I'm still curious about your mission.
Oh.
You said it's murder.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Oh, yes. Don't bury the lead.
Who is it that you want to murder?
Well, it's another Zaya Anu.
Another. Wait. You're murdering. There's another Zaya
Yes,
Anu?
there is. There is one other Zaya Anu. You see, my name is, I thought it was utterly unique, but there was a child born recently.
Bad idea.
Spelled, and I've met many Zaya Anus spelled differently than mine. But this Zaya Anu is spelled X-Ash, which is the AE combo letter.
Yes, yes.
X-A-12. And this child was born on an unknown planet, which is why I'm struggling on this quest. But an unknown planet
Yes.
to apparently the worst man in the world and his indie rocker girlfriend.
Oh, yes, you had. Oh, it says I had indie rocker.
And that's all you had to go on. That's got to be tough.
Yeah, it's quite, because there are many planets that have indie rock music. You would be surprised.
And also, there's a whole race of civilizations built on being indie rockers.
That's right.
Oftentimes, they will self-destruct at the time when they feel like they've sold out. As in they start making money.
Right. I mean, I always wonder about those civilizations. How do you have an indie rock-based civilization without a mainstream rock or pop scene?
Well, then you just have to invent that. You have to invent an enemy, which is always a good idea. I think that's always a good idea for drumming up support, is to invent an enemy.
The question that does come to mind, though, if it was all indie rock and they had to, branch off a mainstream, isn't the mainstream really the indie rock? I feel there's a little bit of a conundrum
Exactly. Exactly. I guess it depends.
And that's when their heads.
Which is more popular? Maybe they vacillate back and forth. One gets more popular, now it's the mainstream, then the other's the mainstream.
Yes.
The indie becomes the father is the child of the man, all of that sort of.
What if they bring in other genres, as a country and western or something in there? How would that affect the economy?
It would possibly tear the whole foundation.
Oh my! Oh.
Fabric torn.
Throw in a xylophone or something, and suddenly we don't know what kind of music we're making. We don't know what kind of lives we're living.
Exactly, and to be fair, this princess or whoever she is, the wife, the girlfriend, whatever of this worst man is, it's more of a synth,
Yes.
a synthy sort of pop situation, but definitely falls under that. I'm boring you with the genre talk.
No.
No. This is fascinating. No, that was my listening face. Many people think it's looks boring because it's so
You looked
blank.
dead. I thought that you had been given the release, and I
Yes.
was, to be honest, feeling a little bit of the jealousy that Trellis talked about.
Yes.
Yes.
Many people are jealous of how effectively I can blank out. Yes.
Now, what are your chances of, if Horatio offends you like this, that you would switch to murdering him versus Zaya Anu?
Oh, well, the quest is Zaya Anu, so that would simply be, I guess, if I listen, I don't want to murder anybody. This is just my quest. This is just the quest I've been given.
Well, what can you do? This is profession. This is business.
Exactly. I'm looking to achieve the honor. I'm looking
Yes.
for the sweet release.
The sweet release at the end of it all.
I suppose if I were a different personality, I might want to murder Horatio, but it serves me no purpose.
Maybe on the way back. For funsies.
It sounds like you maybe want to murder Horatio, Trellis.
I'm wondering if this is a strangers on a space shuttle kind of situation where you try to get someone to murder someone you want murdered, and then you will murder someone they want murdered. The idea being that there will be no connection. But I will know the connection. But then again, I might be dead.
Problem solved.
I might have to accidentally write it down in my sleep on my napkin. Trellis did it.
Did you have a specific way that you were going to murder this other Zaya Anu?
Well, I've certainly got time to think about it. I have no idea how to find this child. I just figured I would kind of improvise when I get there, or hopefully think of something by the time I get there.
He's a child currently. You said currently a child.
Yes, currently a child. So,
Well, it's always easier to go on a quest and murder a younger being rather than an older and experienced one.
right.
Now let's not make that assumption. I was wondering, on your world, could it be that the young are more wily?
I think I would prefer to. So that's the thing too. Is this is a timed event? If the other Zaya Anu is an infinite being, I if he's not, he dies. I never get to die.
Oh.
I need to make this happen as quickly as possible.
So it's one of you, one or other of you dies, and the other has to live on in, I assume, some kind of a shamed state.
It's either one or both, or one of us. I think would be the situation.
Oh, good. Both. That's very clear to me.
It's a classic both or one. Yes.
Yes. No, that's perfect.
That is the philosophical question that's probably you're keeping people up on Dopple II.
Oftentimes, that is the only thing to decide between both or one, because unless you take halvesies on part of it, and that would just.
I think, Horatio, you and I can offer a little, solace here. Now, if Zaya Anu decides to run the clock out and just dies on you, I think we'd be happy to, get a box from the gift shop and do something in that regards to torture you. If you don't complete the task, I think we'd like to help.
We are here. We are here to torture, if need be.
No. I'm sorry. There would be no honor in that.
Yes, you have to have the honor in it, Trellis.
Oh, there has to be an honor.
I have to be surrounded by my people.
So we couldn't just get like a gift set, a gift starter set, or something like that from the gift shop, and just use that little miniatures around.
That's actually. I know you don't mean it this way, but it is heresy on my planet. So.
Oh no, it certainly didn't mean. We should make sure they label those gift sets.
Are these gift sets always used to kill people?
Well, they have various type gift sets of various rituals and various worlds. There's miniature versions of the setups with altars and whatever it is you need, costumes, things like that.
They've got a 3D printer back there.
Gotcha.
You basically just access their cultural database.
What a wonderful invention, the 3D printer. Who would have thought?
Isn't it though?
The person who invented the 3D printer, I think they would have thought of it. Although in an alternate universe, they probably wouldn't. I wonder who invented it.
Right, exactly.
What's the opposite of a 3D printer? And so there's a mirror universe where some things unexist.
0D, I would think.
Yeah, a three-dimensional object.
I think a black hole.
Exactly. I was just going to say that. A black hole is the 0D printer.
Oh, look at this useful object. We should get rid of it. Press the button. It's gone.
Now, that just gave me an idea.
Oh, whoa.
How do you feel? How do you feel about tossing the other Zaya Anu into a black hole?
Oh, that would be lovely. Then not to have to.
Perhaps putting him on a car and launching that off into space towards a black hole.
Is that done?
Oh, I would know. I would have to be close enough to guarantee that he did actually. Excuse me. Wait, no, this is.
Oh, I know you're getting a bit emotional. I can tell.
Yes, something caught in my throat, and it feels like he's close.
Do you often get like phlegm or something caught in there? Is that an indicator?
I never have. I've heard of it from my people.
Do you have a photo of this Zaya Anu?
No, that's a great call. I really could use I'm not sure what he looks like at all.
I'm just backing up here. Do you have any form of identifying this other Zaya Anu?
Just the name. I guess I thought I might call it out and see who answers.
Make sure you say it exactly correctly, because if a slight variation, someone heard, or if there's another Zaya Anu, I'd hate for you to kill the wrong being.
Well,
because then that would mean it was all for naught, I would assume.
No. It would just be kind of collateral damage.
Oh! I'm sorry. I thought it would negate. I thought it would negate your.
So maybe if we just, there's not that many children in the restaurant. Perhaps we could just eliminate them all and kind of go from there.
I think you should all buy them all treats first before you slaughter them.
Okay.
Also, that would be a great distraction. They're not going to expect to be slaughtered if they're just being given a treat.
Perhaps bury the form of death within the treat.
Depending on how much time you have here with us, and if you're patient, Max Quartlepleen during his show does have a bit where he calls up all the kids who are dining here tonight, performs some magic for them on stage.
That I have all the time in the world, the universe actually.
Well, that's true. Yeah, you are infinite until you actually finally get rid of this other.
That's right. I guess I have all the time in Zaya Anu's world.
It's interesting how death is really the enemy of being infinite, isn't it?
It really is.
And I'm thinking you could hide behind one of the ferns that they have set up on the sides of the stage, because Max reads off the names.
Yes. I see Billy, I see Xenu, I see you. Yeah.
Exactly. I see Zaya Anu, and then boom, that is the moment to strike.
But what do I use? There aren't any black holes around here, are there?
No, but there is a large chandelier above the stage.
There is the garbage chute, so you could flush them out into the cold darkness of space, where they would.
But then that's a long time. I don't know if it's gonna. What about the gift shop? You just said that there's things in the gift shop.
I'm sure there's something in there. There's got to be something in there.
Well, what's the most popular weapon on Dopple II? You could have that 3D printed up.
It's just a puddle of water.
So drowning. There's a lot of drowning on your planet?
We've more just been throwing the puddles at people, but I guess kind of holding them under the. That would be good. Yeah, a deep puddle.
I'm just wondering, do the puddles keep their form when you throw them? Are they still puddles, or they just become water at that point when you throw them? Not to be a downer, but I'm just trying to visualize this.
It's like really more like thrown.
Well,
rain.
That's a classic both or one scenario. Is it a puddle, or is it water, or is it both?
Is it on the ground as a puddle, and does it lose its puddleness when it's flinging through the air, being flung through the air?
See, but this is my problem. I get caught up in these philosophical questions when Zaya Anu could be here, and I need to eliminate this child. I need to kill this child.
I just have a thought. This is a thought. Now, I know you're wanting a glorious death, and I understand that. That's very important. But have you ever thought about starting a business to help with these murder quests and things? Because you really seem to have an eye for the detail of it. Possibly being instead of being like a wedding planner, you're like a murder quest planner or something like that.
I'm sure Dopple II isn't the only planet that people are questing for murder.
That sounds exactly like the kind of thing that could give an infinite life meaning.
Ah.
Oh, yes. If you have to live, you might as well have a reason to.
So you're saying don't kill this child, and instead just kind of be a productive member of the universe.
I'm thinking that's like your fallback plan. I think that's your fallback plan. If he's not here.
Well, you can help others to kill. Until you get to the point of being able to kill your own, help others to kill theirs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I love that. So for the next, say, 3 to 5 minutes until the children are called up, kind of launch this business.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. However much time you have. That's plenty of time to come up with a logo, maybe print up some business cards.
Yes, leave them on each table. Except for the table where there are kids, because you don't want to tip your hand.
Absolutely.
No, because they're wily. They will see it coming.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. How many times
also, their vision is better so they can see on different spectrum. They can see what you feel sometimes.
Yeah, since you don't know exactly what type of being he is, he might be pan-dimensional. It might be really large, even though it's a child. Physically.
Could be invisible.
I would love to hire you on as an assistant, Trellis. You seem to have an eye for these kinds of things as well.
Oh, listen to that.
Thank you.
Listen to that. Little sideline for the Trellis.
Yes, little extra income, a side hustle.
Important because this gravy train may not run forever. Yeah, I don't know.
No, well, it'll run as long as fascinating people like Zaya Anu here stop by to tell us their stories. And this has been a fantastically interesting one.
What a wonderfully ass-kissing wrap-up there, Trellis.
Yes, it is, but it is also true. Ass-kissing can be insincere and sincere is what I'm getting.
Yes, that's true.
And this is very sincere. This is sincere.
That's true.
I like where this is going. I like that it's giving me something else to do than sitting in the booth when you're zoned out thinking about sauces. Like, I get so bored. You would not believe it.
Exactly. We are going to have a busy next 3 to 5 minutes. That's absolutely sure.
Yeah, other than like actually doing this show, that will be the longest I've ever been employed. This upcoming 3 to 5 minutes, very exciting.
Because being a correspondent for the Guide isn't really like being employed. It's like wondering if your job's still there the next day.
Well, isn't that every job?
Especially for us.
Well, that's just like for your quest. You know, for all you now, if Zaya Anu dies, are you going to get like another, throat tickle, or is it so that you know that you failed?
Yes, how's your throat? I meant to ask.
It's doing better, which maybe means he's gone. Oh, Belgium! Ugh!
After we finish here, we could go down to the parking deck and ask Siobhan. Siobhana's there. She might know. She might have seen him leave and could give you the tag number of the space vehicle that came in or something like that.
Well,
if not, we could just hang out with Siobhana Soru down in the parking deck because she is delightful. And she has the entire collection of Space Tractor that we could watch all the seasons. We could sit and watch those while you plan more death.
Once you got the license plate, it's just it's only a matter of time after that.
Yes,
that's true. Oh, you both are very good at comforting me. You're the both to my one.
Ah.
Oh, that's wonderful. The both of you.
Well, hopefully I'm more of the both than him.
Quantity-wise, I think I'm more both than one. If you were going to look at the two of us and say which one of you looks more like a combination of beings and which one of you looks like a single being, I think you would say I look like the combination of beings.
But that's the thing. A one can be infinite, but a both is still greater.
Oh, one is the loneliest number, but it's also, you can also string it out. You can make it sound multi-syllable. Whoa. Oh, that's a whole other thing I'm going to be focusing on later.
So what are you thinking for the? I think Zayanu deserves his own entry.
I was going to say. Well, in a way, this one.
I want to honor you. I want to honor your quest.
Well, as it so happens, the one I had in mind satisfies both on all requirements. It's both or one, both of one. It would be Dopple II, or actually no, it would be Zayanu, the honor of death. A silence there, which means approval.
You're asking for my approval?
Yes. It's going to be your entry.
Yes, of course. I figure it's your guide. Do what you will with it. Hopefully, I'll be gone.
Or maybe the honor of death, it's a classic both of one dilemma.
Mm-hmm. And if you could, let us know if you're successful or not, because then we can amend the entry with either a future of infinite sadness or glorious death by box torture.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, if you don't hear from me, consider that hearing from me.
Okay.
All right, good. When you don't hear from me, expect... good. That makes perfect sense to me.
All right, well, type that in and hit the old submit button, Horatio.
Well, we wish you every sweet release possible.
I was just going to ask, can we still kind of do this 3 to 5 minutes thing so that I can?
Yes, absolutely. I'll get everything.
Awesome.
Even if it's just for practice, it's not going to go to waste.
I'll get the puddles printed at the gift shop right now.
I need to get out of this booth a little bit and stretch. Thank you for joining us for Hitchhikers and Appetizers, and of course, special thanks goes to our guest, Zaya Anu. I have been Trellis Gardeen.
And I continue to be Horatio Zinn. Until next time, keep your towels clean. And if an angry giant space hand comes down from the heavens and tries to terrorize your planet, try massaging the webbed area between its giant thumb and forefinger. It might just be grumpy because of a really bad headache. So don't panic. Everything you heard in this episode was improvised, but not everything improvised was heard. This episode of Hitchhikers and Appetizers featured the voice talents of Mike Gorgone as Trellis Gardeen, Bran Peacock as Horatio Zinn, and Dave Marr as Zaya Anu. Finally, Hitchhikers and Appetizers is part of the Improv in Action Network. Check out other great improvised podcasts and projects at improvinaction.com. If you'd like to reach out to Trellis or Horatio, you can send electronic messages to them at our Galaxy address, hitchappspodcast@gmail.com. or you can find them on Twitter with the handle HitchApps.
Now a featured podcast on Newsly. Newsly is an all-in-one audio super app for iOS and Android. It picks up the most trending articles on the web on topics you choose at any given moment and reads them to you in a natural human voice. For the first time ever, the entire web becomes listenable, all in one place. Browse articles from topics you choose and start playing. Stop scrolling, start listening. You can follow any topic as specific as you like, from sports, tech, business, science, Bitcoin, or even the Kardashians. We here at Hitchhikers and Appetizers won't judge you. To your face, at least. Newsly will find you the latest articles and read them to you aloud. And they have podcasts as well. Explore trending podcasts from over 80 countries. As mentioned earlier, our podcast is there too. I started using it as my default podcast app. They even have digital radio. Download and use Newsly for free now from www.newsly.me or from the link in this episode's description, and use the promo code ZERS, Z-E-R-S, to receive a 1-month free premium subscription. 1 month is better than no months, I always say, and I'm Trellis Gardeen.
Shut up and sit down.